Good evening and welcome back to the Johnson Space Center for tonight's mission status briefing on Discovery's flight to the International Space Station. A busy day in orbit, not yet over. With us tonight to talk about it all is the lead space shuttle flight director for this mission, Tony Ceccacci. Tony.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Like Rob said, we had a really busy day today, and the crew did really great. Myself, I got an extra bonus today. On my walk over here, I got to see the station and shuttle fly over. It was a pretty neat sight, knowing that you were part of putting all that together, and of course undocking from it tomorrow. Let me give you a quick summary of what we did this morning on the Orbit 1 shift. The crew completed the closeout of the logistics module Leonardo and prep, of course, for returning it to Discovery's payload bay. And on my way over here, I noticed that they were almost berthed and securing it down for its return flight home. The crew also completed the mid-deck transfer and of course, for preparation for hatch closer this evening. And what I had some trivial facts here, transfer summary in case anybody wanted to know, but total pounds transferred from Discovery to ISS was 18,548, and from ISS to Discovery was 5,223. So you see we left a lot of good stuff up there for them. See, the tasks remaining in prep for undocking tomorrow include the farewell and hatch closure, and that's going to be around 9:30 this evening. And then, of course, we have the associated leak checks with that. We need to go ahead and put the RMS and the OBSS in the undock position. Right now, we're in the MPLM viewing position. We just have to put it in a good position for the undocking. And to complete the day, the crew is going to go ahead and put the rendezvous tools checkout in work. The undocking tomorrow is at around 2:26 in the afternoon Central Time. Let's see, and at undocking, a few more fun facts. The ISS will be 84% complete in assembly, and it's going to weigh about 720,000 pounds. One of the things I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you guys heard this, but we are tracking a conjunction. It's object number 30535. It's Fengyan 1C debris. And the time of closest approach is about, there's two times of closest approach that we have to look at, is both about 3:30 in the morning this morning and 5:30 tomorrow morning. These are after undocking. The tracking passes are looking very favorable, kind of like what we had a couple, 3 days ago, and trending towards this not being a problem, but we won't know for sure until 9:30 this evening when we get to the valid probability of collision calculations and such. But the trending is looking very favorable. If for some reason it does trend the other way, the ISS folks are working a plan post-undocking to put a reboost on their timeline if required. The shuttle, after we do all the set burns from the undocking and after the fly around, the conjunction's no concern to us. See, that's about all I had, Robin. I'm ready for some questions.
Okay, we'll start off here in Houston. We have reporters on the phone bridge, and we'll go to Gina. Okay, Charles Atkeison pulls up the rear.
Thank you, Rob. Charles Atkeison, SpaceLaunchNews.com. Tony, what impressions of this flight really stand out to you, and are there any tasks you wish you could have an extra day to complete?
I'll take the last question first. We've done everything on our plate. You know, as part of the pre-mission timeline, we did have a +1 day available to us, but the crew completed all the transfer on time, all the EVAs went as expected, so there was really nothing else that we could think of, or the station management can think of, to utilize the +1 for. You know, we'll see how everything goes tomorrow, but where we're at today, you know, we already transferred the LIO over to the ISS, assuming that we were giving up the +1 day, and again, we don't see any need for it. I guess the most exciting, or I don't know, the most unique thing I think about this flight is just, again, you guys probably always hear me say this, but the teamwork between the ISS and the shuttle team, how not only during the mission but pre-flight, how all these folks put all their time and effort to put a plan together that's very, very efficient. And you can just see by the way that it's panned out and where we're getting ready for undocking, and that all that hard work showed itself and was really well worth it.
And just a final one, are there any thoughts in keeping an MPLM docked with the station prior to the end of the shuttle program?
I know that, like Rob said, there's discussions about that. They don't know if they still have a lot of things they need to work on, but that would help with stowage. But again, that's still being determined if that's going to be accomplished.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it for the phone bridge. Any follow-ups here? Seeing none, we'll close with a couple of programming notes. As we mentioned earlier, we're closing in on hatch closure coming up at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. You'll see that on NASA television. The crews will head into their sleep period at 2 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday, and that's the time that we begin our hourly replay of the flight day highlights of this Flight Day 11 for Discovery and the International Space Station cruise. Wake-up call is 10 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday, and that prepares the crew for the undocking, as Tony said, at 2:26 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday afternoon. One other programming note, on Thursday, as the crew of Discovery is jumping into its deorbit preparation timeline, we'll provide live coverage at 11:45 a.m. Central Time, 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time of the maiden launch of the Japanese H-2B rocket from the Tanegashima Space Center in southern Japan to send the HTV, the H-2 transfer vehicle, on its maiden flight to the International Space Station, so you'll want to tune in for that. After that coverage is complete, we'll be back into deorbit preparations for Discovery's landing at the Kennedy Space Center. So with that, we'll go back to mission coverage, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night. Thanks a lot.
This is Mission Control Houston, back now live in the Space Shuttle Flight Control Room here at the Johnson Space Center. The final few steps in this operation to put the Leonardo multi-purpose logistics module back into Discovery's payload bay still underway. We are awaiting word that it has been latched back down into the shuttle's payload bay. Once that is done, the station's arm will be ungrappled. We'll let go of Leonardo and back away from it.